Thanks for joining today's focus group webinar. For those of you who haven't joined us in our previous webinars, we would like to let you know that this is a bi-monthly affair. We urge you to join this integration webinar series to gain a comprehensive perspective on how to extract the potential of integration with Zoho CRM and the other Zoho applications. We have covered the integrations between Zoho Desk and Zoho CRM and Zoho Projects and Zoho CRM previously. This week, we will be looking at the integration between Zoho Analytics and Zoho CRM. Let's get started. I am Aishwarya and I'll be walking you through today's session. We have the product manager responsible for this integration present with us today. We also have product experts from CRM and analytics with us. Drop your questions in the Q&A section and utilize this opportunity to ask as many questions as you have about today's topic. You can also post your feedback or ideas about the integration in the QA section as well. A few housekeeping points before we get started. We have pre-recorded this session in order to avoid any technical difficulties. In case you encounter any technical glitches, do inform us in the chat box. We will try and rectify it as soon as possible. Let us check out today's agenda. First, a quick run-through of the new reports in Zoho CRM. We then see what Zoho Analytics is and how it is different from Zoho CRM. Quick know-how about the basic concepts in Zoho Analytics. We will then look at how to set up the integration between Zoho Analytics and Zoho CRM. Then we look at creating reports, joining them and sharing them using Zoho Analytics. We will also take a peek at what's on the roadmap for this integration. Finally, we will wrap up the session with a live Q&A. Now let's get started. The reports revamp in Zoho CRM. The revamp to the reports module in CRM has made it the most powerful it has been to date. It has been built from scratch, keeping in mind the ease of use and productivity. A lot of focus has been given to building reports in different formats. We have also introduced the concepts of building a parent-child relationship between the modules. You can now pull reports with multiple parent modules. You can choose to be inclusive or exclusive with the data between the modules included in the report. We have introduced the option to join reports that are created from the same module. The report export limit has been increased from 20,000 in the past to 50,000 for CSV and XLS formats. These are a few changes that were made to the reports module. Now let us take a look at what Zoho Analytics is. What is Zoho Analytics? Identifying new opportunities and implementing an effective strategy based on insights can provide businesses with a competitive market advantage and long-term stability and help them take strategic decisions. Here is where Zoho Analytics steps in. Zoho Analytics is a self-service BI and data analytics software that lets you analyze your data, create stunning data visualizations, and discover hidden insights in minutes. It is a powerful tool that will help slice and dice your data to get accurate insights. Why the advanced analytics for Zoho CRM? The advanced CRM analytics, which is powered by Zoho Analytics, helps you to analyze CRM data and create insightful reports and dashboards for your business. Among a myriad of uses, Zoho Analytics empowers the organization to gain insight into new markets, to assess demand and suitability of products and services for different market segments, and to gauge the impact of the marketing efforts. It offers over 100 plus hand-picked reports and dashboards with the Zoho CRM data that will benefit the users. Throughout today's webinar, we will take the example of a cargo delivery company, Supercargo. Here, Paul heads the operations team and Victor heads the sales and channels. We also have John, who is the regional head taking care of the entire sales and operations at Supercargo. Victor needs to pull reports to evaluate delivery performance, turnaround time performance, vehicle line hold performance, feeder performance, among others. Paul, on the other hand, needs to pull reports on sales performance and compare it with the previous month or year, whether the region delivers on load factor, facilitate channel partners' engagement, and the likes. John needs to see the metrics across these departments, share reports with the channel partners, and plan the next month's load factor based on the reports. We will see how this team at Supercargo uses Zoho Analytics along with Zoho CRM to analyze the performance of the delivery teams and much more. Set up the integration between Zoho CRM and Zoho Analytics. The integration between Zoho CRM and Zoho Analytics can be configured from Zoho CRM or Zoho Analytics. We will take a look at both the options now. The main components of the integration setup are the modules and fields list and choosing the sync interval to sync data from the CRM end to analytics. First, we will see how to initiate the integration from Zoho CRM. In Zoho CRM, click the setup, which is the gear icon on the top right. Choose Zoho under Marketplace. Scroll down to the Advanced Analytics for Zoho CRM. Click Manage. Get started. The Zoho Analytics configuration pop-up appears. You can choose the following details in this pop-up. Select the modules and the corresponding fields. The list of all the modules and the relevant fields will be listed here. By default, the system will map a few fields. You can also choose to map all the fields in a module. Once you have mapped the modules, you can choose the sync option. We have the option to sync the data daily, every 3 hours, every 6 hours, every 12 hours, or to sync the data manually. By choosing daily, you will have to choose the time at which you want the data to be synced. Once you choose the time and the sync option, you can click Save. An email notification will be sent once the data from Zoho CRM is imported to Zoho Analytics. After we have set up this integration, we will have the option to access Zoho Analytics right from within the Reports module in CRM. We will check out how to initiate the integration from Zoho Analytics. In Zoho Analytics, click the Import Data button on the top right. Choose Zoho CRM from the list of available data sources displayed. The Import from Zoho CRM wizard appears. You can choose to name your workspace. Additionally, you can also give your workspace a description You will have the list of all the modules from Zoho CRM and the fields in those modules. Once you select the modules and the fields that you want to sync, you can then choose the sync type and also the time at which you want the sync to happen. Once you have chosen this, click Create. Now, a new workspace with the Zoho CRM data will be created. Successfully set up the Zoho CRM Analytics workspace. We will receive an email once the data sync has happened. We have now successfully synced the data from Zoho CRM to Zoho Analytics. Let us go ahead with creating a few reports. Creating reports. Reports are the primary means of communication in any organization and supply the necessary information to managers to solve problems. Business reports are crucial for transmitting information from one person to another or from one level to another. In addition to internal use, reports also communicate information to external stakeholders like creditors, customers, shareholders, suppliers, government officials, and various regulatory agencies. Zoho Analytics offers various reporting options like charts, pivot tables, summary views, and tabular views. We will see a few of these reporting options in detail. Charts. The first reporting option we are going to explore is charts. Charts are visual representations of data and by far the most commonly used type of reports. Now, Paul, our sales head, wants to take a look at the delivery performance across the different regions over the last 6 months. We will see how we can pull a report to analyze this. I am choosing to create a report based on the deliveries table as the details about the deliveries are stored in here. There are two ways to build a chart view. One, by clicking the Create option on the top left pane. The other is by using the Create New button on the right side of the table. The report editor opens. The left pane shows a list of all the columns from the table, that is, the fields from the Zoho CRM. The right pane is the design window with options to choose the columns, filters, etc. I choose the delivery date time field as the date of delivery is captured in this field. Just by checking the field, it will automatically be added as a column to the chart. I can choose based on what values I want to group the chart. I am choosing the region column as well. The click here to generate graph will generate the graph for me based on the data that I have added. If I want the chart to include the delivery person details, I can drag and drop the delivery owner name field as well. Click here to generate graph. The available list of chart options is displayed on top of the table. We have a list of all the chart types that are relevant. You can choose the chart types and the graph will automatically reflect the chosen chart type. To name a few, we have the pie chart, bubble chart, scattered chart, stacked chart, combo chart, heat map, and much more. There are few other options on the screen. The sort button offers the option to sort the graph either on the x-axis or the y-axis. The underlying data button shows the records that contribute to the report. Since I've only used the data from the deliveries module, it is shown here. The filters tab is used to set up filters for the report. If I want to filter the deliveries from a particular user, I can drag and drop the delivery owner name into this filters column, and then I can choose the values here. The last column on the right gives the option to include the values chosen or to exclude them. Click here to generate graph. I have chosen to exclude Ryan from the chart. Now the user filters tab has an interesting functionality. This particular functionality is not available in the Zoho CRM reports. User filters enable the users who access the report to apply filters on the report data displayed using the filter columns exposed as part of the user filters. Now in our case, the area managers at Supercargo will also have access to this report. Paul can decide what filters the users can use against the report. For example, the head of Northern Florida can only have access to the regions under him. We can choose the region field and set the values to be shown. So here, by selecting the listed values, if I select a few values, the person who has access to it, in our case the area manager, will only be able to see these particular values in the region field. Now the view mode on the top right displays the graph and the sorting options without the column list and the design bar. Now clicking the edit design button will open the design editor page of the chart view again. The settings icon next to this the settings icon next to the view mode on the top right has all the customization options. You can choose the chart effect, the color palettes for the component, if you want it in monochrome or gradient or a different pattern. All of this can be chosen here. You can also choose to give a background color. You can make use of the preview option to view it. There is this option called drill down. Now drill down paths can be used to define a sequential way to narrow down to data specifics. In our example, we can set the drill down path for the delivery date. Since now the chart displays the data across quarters, you can choose to narrow it down to months or days or even to the day of the hour. Now this is auto mapped. If I want to make any changes to it, I can go ahead and make the changes. Once the changes have been made, and I can click the apply button to have the changes reflect in my chart. Once the customization options have been applied to the chart, you can go ahead and save the chart by using the save icon on the top. Now that we have inserted the columns, applied filters, set up user filters, applied customization including specifying a sequential path for the drill down, we will click the view mode to view the chart. We have used the region field to apply user filters. As you can see, the drop-down will list only the options that we have selected in the user filters. We have also specified drill down using the delivery date field. Clicking on any data point in the report or the chart will take us down that sequential path that we have specified. Now here we have two deliveries that were made on different dates along with the time. Now the breadcrumb on the top will show the path that we have taken, and we can go back using the same. This brings us to the end of what we can achieve with the chart views. Let us move on to the next reporting option. Pivot tables. Pivot tables allows you to dynamically rearrange, group and summarize data for easy analysis of large sets of data. We will take a look at how Victor, leading the channel partner sales and vendors, uses pivot table to analyze the turnaround time for the delivery partners. We start by creating the report for the vendors module. I click the Explorer tab on the left pane, choose the vendors table. I can choose to create the pivot table using the two options that we have already seen. The pivot table designer opens. We want to include the delivery partner name, the vendors and the turnaround time. Here we can see the vendors module. I am choosing to add the vendor name field. Under the deliveries table, I am choosing to add the delivery owner name, and I am choosing to add the turnaround time for the deliveries module. Click here to generate pivot. Now the pivot table is generated that shows the turnaround time across each vendor for every delivery personnel that I have. Similar to the other reporting option that we have seen, the filters option and the user filters option are available. I can also select and apply themes. I can choose to view the underlying data. One difference with the pivot table is the show and hide option. I can choose to show or hide the totals. Let us assume I do not want to see the total for the grand total field. I can choose to hide it and click OK. Now the totals are no longer displayed. Similarly, I can choose to hide any column that is displayed here. Once all the changes to the filters and the customization has been done, we can choose to view the pivot table. Dashboards. Dashboards are a single page view of multiple reports. The dashboards in Zoho Analytics has a flexible grid layout that allows easy drag and drop of the components. You can easily create a visually rich and interactive dashboard by adding reports, widgets, user filters, and rich formatted text. John, the regional head of Supercargo, needs a consolidated view of the delivery performance, sales across the regions, KPIs, and the likes from different departments. Let us see how we can create a dashboard, add reports to it, and customize the dashboard. You can make use of the Create button on the top left pane to create a dashboard. The dashboard layout opens. The list of all views in the workspace opens in the left pane. Use the search box to search for the particular view and add it to the dashboard. You can simply drag and drop the view into the dashboard layout. Once you add a report to the dashboard, the system will automatically suggest few user filters. As you can see, the system has suggested user filters based on the reports that I have added to the dashboard. On the top, you have the option to add tabs. Now, tabs help to organize the dashboard view. John can have separate tabs for sales, vendors, channels, etc. Zoho Analytics offers to create up to 10 tabs to a dashboard. You can also choose to add user filters of your own. Clicking the Add User filter will open the list of all the available fields in the workspace. You can simply drag the column and drop it into the user filter section. You can either choose all the values or you can select the list of values that you want to display in the user filter. The user filter functionality is similar to the ones that we have already seen while creating reporting options. If you do not want the system to suggest any user filter, you can turn off this checkbox. Once you have added all the components and set the user filters, we can see how we can resize the components and customize the look and feel of the dashboard. You can make use of the show grid option while customizing or resizing the dashboard components. You can simply drag the corners of the dashboard to increase the component size. If you want to copy the dimensions of one and use it to resize another, you can make use of the copy dimensions option. Click on the component. A contextual toolbar will be displayed. The option to copy dimensions, you can make use of the icon and you click on the component to paste the dimensions. The component's dimension will be copied over. The view mode on the top will display the dashboard with the filters configured. Okay, since we've not added it here, it's showing as an error. Let us remove this. The view mode, you can view the dashboard along with the user filters that have been configured. We have the option to change the theme for the dashboard. You can customize how it looks. You can also customize the colors, the background color, the dashboard background, the card background. Let's choose the card background, the card top border, the report palette, each of the colors, the chart effect. So Zoho Analytics offers all of these options. Once I've made changes, I can click the apply button and the changes will be applied across the dashboard. Now there are a few other options present, including adding an image, adding a text and adding a widget to the dashboard. The text editor allows to add HTML styling to each of the components. Today we will focus on the option to add widgets, especially the KPI widgets. KPI widgets. KPIs or key performance indicators are measurable values that show the effectiveness of a company's business objectives. Performance metrics and benchmarkings inform business leaders of progress towards business goals. Zoho Analytics allows the evaluation of performance metrics using the KPI widget. The KPI widget highlights any key metric in a dashboard for easy comprehension. The key metric can be accompanied by an associated comparison indicator or plotted against a target to show progression. There are two types of KPI widgets: single number and chart type. Single number widget, as the name suggests, is a single numeric value that will be displayed and can be accompanied by comparison indicators. The chart widget highlights data metrics using chart visuals. Let us see how we can build a KPI widget for our supercargo company. Click the Add Widget button on the top. Within a dashboard, the KPI widget editor pop-up opens. There are 6 types of single number KPI widget and 3 variations to the chart widgets. We are choosing one from the single number widget lot. Choose the primary value on which the calculation has to be performed from the data column drop-down. You can choose any column from the entire workspace. We are choosing the turnaround time. The group by drop-down lists the column to group the primary value. We are grouping it by the delivery owner. You can choose the format of the primary value and the secondary value. The Filters tab displays all the columns that are present in the workspace. You can filter using any of the columns. For example, if I only want to filter based on a particular region, then I can choose the particular region. Similarly, I can choose to include the items or exclude the items. The Settings tab gives the option to customize the KPI widget. You can apply theme, align the labels, choose the font color, the background color, the label name, etc. Once you've made changes to this, you can hit the apply button. You can also preview the changes if you make it. So the preview sits here. You can reset it to the default style. Once you click the apply button, the widget will be added to the dashboard. You can always edit the KPI widget and make changes to the widget type. For example, if we choose to change it to the chart widget, you will have to choose the metrics. I am going to go with the metrics that are chosen by default. Once you hit the apply button, the chart type widget is displayed. Now we have successfully added KPI widget to our dashboard. The next topic that we are going to discuss in today's session is the formula engine. Zoho Analytics offers a powerful formula engine which enables you to derive business-specific metrics and insights from complex data and helps you visualize them as accurate reports. It offers a rich set of inbuilt functions to help with this. The formula types supported in Zoho Analytics are formula column, aggregate formula, and report formula. We will see each of these formula types in detail. The formula column. The output of the formula is added as a new column in the table called a formula column. You can use these formula columns in creating reports in the same way you use other columns in a table. Now let us calculate the turnaround time for every delivery in a day. We will see how we can achieve this using the formula column. Select the workspace and the table to which you want to insert the formula. I am choosing the deliveries table. You can make use of the add button on the top to add a formula. The add formula column pop-up opens. The columns and the inbuilt functions are listed on the right end. We will name the formula column The inbuilt functions have a tooltip right next to them that will give an idea about the syntax for the function. For this particular function, we are going to make use of the date time difference. When I mouse over the tooltip, it shows the syntax for this particular function. So we will calculate the turnaround time between the dispatch time and the delivery time. Hit save. Now the formula column is added to the table. We can also create formula by right-clicking any of the fields and making use of the add formula option. Now, how are formula columns in Zoho Analytics different from Zoho CRM, and why do we call them powerful? The formula field in Zoho CRM shows up as a report column. You can either sort or filter based on it. However, in Zoho Analytics, you can build a formula over an existing formula column. This functionality in particular hasn't been introduced in the CRM yet. This functionality comes in handy in cases where the formula syntax reaches the character limit in CRM. What does this creating formula over formula accomplish? The formula column that you build will be listed and treated like any other column in the table. You can use it to create another formula. Let us try creating a formula including the turnaround time. Formula column. As you can see, the column that we have created right now will be displayed as another column along with the fields from the module. Using this, you can create another formula. Let us take a look at the next type of formula, the aggregate formula. Apart from formula columns, there is the concept of aggregate column. Aggregate formulas are formulas that use at least one aggregate function like the sum or average in the calculation. The output of such formula is always a numeric value. These formula are not added as a column to the report. The value of an aggregate formula is calculated for each data point displayed in the report in which it is used, which makes it more powerful than the formula column. Let us pull the shortest turnaround time from the entire report. We will insert an aggregate formula for the same. We can make use of the minimum function and we will insert the turnaround time field. You can choose the return type and save the formula. As you can see, this field is not added as a column to the table. However, when I try to create a new view from this table, the field will be listed as a column on the left pane. So minimum TAT, this is the aggregate formula field that we have added. It is being displayed as a column when I am trying to add it as a new report. Similarly, the previous formula that we have created for turnaround time will also be listed as a column when creating a new report. This brings us to the last type of formula, which is the report formula. Now, report formulas are not as powerful as the aggregate formula or the formula column. Report formulas are formula columns that can be used only in a particular report. They cannot be used as another column in any other report. So basically they can be used only to perform basic arithmetic operations over the columns that are part of this particular table. They cannot be used to create a formula for columns across multiple tables. This brings us to the end of the formula engine. We have just seen the tip of the iceberg with respect to formulas. You can do a lot more than this with the formula engine in Zoho Analytics. The next topic for today's session is how you can share and collaborate reports using Zoho Analytics. The most important feature of any reporting tool is its capability to share the derived insights within the organization as well as with anyone outside the organization. Zoho Analytics offers a lot of options for achieving this. Let's say Paul wants to share the delivery performance report with a couple of users. He can do so using the share option in the reports. You can click the share button on the top right. Share this view. Enter the email addresses of the users with whom you want to share the report. Click the Apply Permission and Filters link. Under Permissions, you can offer read access, export data, view underlying data, and Zia Insights. You can also allow sharing and collaboration of the report as well as commenting. Now the filter criteria section allows you to filter the data from the report that is shared. You can share the same report with different users based on different criteria. We have a lot of customers requesting to create one report and allow each user to see only their data in the report. You can set criteria based on user's name and share the report. You can preview the report link once the permissions and filters are set. Now the edit message link helps you to change the content that will be sent along with the email to access the report. You can also choose to not send an email. You can choose to pick the list of users or groups using the link here. This brings us to the end of the share option. You can make changes to the shared details using the edit shared details option. To the Q&A session, we will take a quick look at what the Zoho projects and Zoho Desk integration does. We had received a few requests for this integration from our customers in the first session of the focus group series. The integration between Zoho Desk and Zoho projects simplifies the communication between the customer-facing team and the other teams. We will continue with the same use case that we have discussed earlier. The client Jack encounters an issue with the website when testing it. He writes to the support team elaborating on the same. The support rep to whom the request is assigned to has to forward the issue details to the development team. This is where the integration between Zoho Desk and Zoho projects helps. We will see how this integration will help the customer facing team to push the details directly to Zoho projects from within Zoho Desk. Let us take a look at how to configure the integration. The integration between Zoho Desk and Zoho projects has to be initiated from the Zoho Desk end. Click Setup. Choose Zoho under the Marketplace section. This displays the list of all the Zoho applications that integrate with Zoho Desk. We are choosing Zoho Projects. Click Integrate. By default, the projects portal under your email address will be listed here. If you are part of more than one project portal, you will have the option to choose the portal from the drop-down. Once the portal is chosen, click Authorize. There is a message that says the Zoho Projects account authorization is successful. Now, we can choose the project that is going to be associated with the department. You can also choose to create tasks and issues from Zoho Desk. The field mapping is done by default. Once you've chosen the project and the modules, click Save. The message says that the Zoho project's integration has been configured. Now let us assume that the developers are unable to reproduce the issue that Jack has written about. The support rep, Ryan, has arranged for a remote session with the development team and Jack. Directly create a task from within the ticket. The project to which the task has to be added can also be chosen. Once the task is added, the development team will be alerted about the task and they can access the same from within Zoho projects. There is also the option to file a bug directly from within the ticket. If the customer has reached Ryan with an issue over call or over email, he can directly file the issue from within Zoho Desk and it will be registered as an issue in the bug tracker within Zoho projects. Now, as you can see, the integration between desk and projects has cut down on the time that is taken to duplicate data in both applications. So, the integration between desk, CRM, and projects will render a well connected system with the customer whereabouts being accessible to all the teams at any point in the sales cycle through retention. In today's session, we have seen how we can build complex reports, dashboards, KPI widgets, and to share and publish them. Wouldn't it be uber comfortable to have the reports for the week sent over an email to John? This option is offered by both the systems. The reports in CRM can be sent as an email from CRM, while the reports in Zoho Analytics can be sent via emails from Zoho Analytics. Zoho Analytics does have much more functionalities compared to the ones in Zoho CRM. You can choose to send a particular view or a dashboard over email. You can also schedule multiple views to be sent over email from Zoho Analytics. A quick look at how this is done. Open the view that you want to email. Click the share button. Email. Choose the format in which the email should be sent. Okay, I have not saved it, so I'm saving it now. And now, perfect. We can enter the recipient. You can also choose a list of users or groups if you already have them. Once you've entered the recipient, we can make changes to the subject of the email or the email content. The schedule email section can be used to schedule the report to be sent in regular intervals like daily, monthly, etc. In our case, we are choosing weekly. You can schedule it to be sent every once in a week or every once in 2 weeks, on which day of the week and at what time, and the name of the schedule. Once you've chosen this, you can click the Save Email Schedule. If you're not going to schedule the report, you can directly click the Send button. This brings us to the end of the demo. We will see what is in the roadmap for the Zoho Analytics and Zoho CRM integration now. As we all know, the notes and emails in Zoho CRM are not yet synced with Zoho Analytics. We are in works to support the notes as a separate module from Zoho CRM with Zoho Analytics. The development on this feature is almost over, and we will move this to the testing phase shortly. We have in our roadmap the option to sync emails as a module with Zoho Analytics. This is still in the evaluation phase and will be taken for development after the note sync is supported. Let's do a quick recap of today's webinar. We started with a run-through of the reports revamp in CRM, moved on to what Zoho Analytics is and how to integrate it with Zoho CRM. We saw how to create different types of reports, charts, dashboards, and KPI widgets. We learned the concepts of formula engine and the different types of formulas that are supported in Zoho Analytics. Lastly, we saw the options to share reports and dashboards, to publish them, and also to send and schedule those reports as emails. With this, we come to the end of today's session. Please feel free to post your questions in the Q&A section on the left. We will try to answer all your questions. We also have a few questions that were submitted along with the registration form. We will be answering those questions on air. Thank you.